Your ship is well, that only Jolly Roger has been through hell. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. In the heated digital high seas, we travel with ease until we reach the outer edge and freeze. The Arctic chill like a very speed hill through the darkness led by our will. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Beyond the outer limits of society, broadcasting the reality. The pirates will always steal the show. From WPRPN, you know. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Dock our vessels in the Skullport Harbor. No land lovers will fight for you harder. Your own first mate went AWOL after a tricky deal haul. The legacy of pirate radio is strong. I hope our mates will come along. The changes we seek may not be long. That is why I wrote this song. And we go ho ho, on adventure we go.
Welcome everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to our latest weekly edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 336. As always, of course, I am your trusted host and companion, Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN is the website. We'll encourage you to drop by, take a look at. Sign up is free. Be sure as well to spend some time going through what we have available via the show description end of things. We have a Patreon presence. Care to support us, that is, you might be interested in knowing. Patreon presence. There's pirate booty up for grabs, mostly in the form of t-shirts and coffee mugs at this particular point in time. You can always help us out on the digital love front. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is our PayPal email address. So do take note of that. Also, it's critical for you to jot down if you'd like to send us any show suggestions or guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us. That's the way to do it, folks. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. I've also got music available that people can download as well. So with the donation of pretty much whatever you find to be reasonable, and put your order in for the number of songs that you'd like to get your hands on, both a mix of covers and originals. In addition to what you can find over via Jaffe's Man Cave, a link that can easily be found via the main website's drop down menu link area. That, yeah, we'd be happy to help you out on that front. Half of everything we do manage to generate as far as donations and support is concerned goes directly back to charity, largely helping others out. Really, we're doing all we can here to not only cover our basic operating expenses, keep the lights on, water, the water running, obviously, and ship afloat. But if we can, find it within our means, reach out to others. And Operation Secret Santa coming up here December 15th, as it does each and every year. So something you might want to jot down, take note of. It's amazing each and every year how quickly that that date approaches, even when you find yourselves a couple of months prior to things leading up to it all, culminating in a epic annual 10-day campaign, telethon, talent show, Christmas consciousness raising event, essentially. So speaking of Christmas, a couple great winter shots there via the slideshow for people's viewing pleasure. So liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription notification buttons, always appreciated, and passing word along to friends, family, and co-workers. So, having said all this, it's great to see that we've got a nice little round table assembled here for this week's live streaming edition of World Pirate Radio News via Phoenix, Arizona. Sonia Galactic here once again. Let's get her up on the screen along with the other motleyed crew of cast members. So we've got to get Telegram, and maybe we'll get Telegram and Facebook properly in place, work a little bit here behind the scenes before we have you guys on screen. But yeah, Sonia out of Phoenix, Roger Hansen, courtesy of West Frankfort, Illinois, and yeah, we got two Chris's. Chris Do Better, someone who themselves calls Atlanta, Georgia home, and Christian Laterre, originally a native of Quebec, Canada, now having relocated in a more freedom-loving region of the world somewhere. If I had the chance to do it all over again, probably would follow suit. Alberta, Canada. So welcome, everyone. Have you all had the chance to check out the talking points? Go to the chat area there, or not? I'm not sure what that means. How to interpret that?
I'm doing that right now, actually.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not.
I almost never look at the talking points. I just shoot off the cuff.
Okay. Well,
Spontaneous.
we can add them, get them on screen share as well too. But we do encourage, I mean,
Yeah,
do whatever you want, of course. But it is better.
I'll do it on the day.
It is better as a panel member to kind of get a jump on things basically, and see what we're dialed into, and that of course it's not all written in carved in stone. You're free to bring to the table whatever. What
It's
have you?
just mainly
Mhm.
because not intentionally, but it's just for over the years it was so difficult. I didn't wasn't able to access the show notes anyway because of the different file type or whatever.
Format?
And yeah. And anyway, so it
RTF, I guess, is what it's. Yeah, generally, I think it shape it takes basically. So yeah. All right. Do we still have you there? We every time we queue up or switch over to just viewing and accessing Facebook or Telegram, things want to go all wonky here with the the audio end of things. So just to let everybody know,
yeah,
and it,
still
yeah,
here.
okay, and so something kind of with the screen share too, as I think we kind of brought to your attention during the pre-show audio tech end of things.
Mm-hmm.
It just it can't help but hijack the audio. It's just the way it works. It's just the way the two systems clash, I guess. So, anyways,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's see. Sonia, or Roger, and we'll maybe save Christian for last. Got some good news for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll something he'll consider good news. But go ahead, folks.
Sweet. Yeah. So how's it going, everybody?
Introduce yourselves. How about that? For starters, because
Yeah.
keep in mind, we kind of have a rough approximate idea of who each one of us is and what we're essentially, well, you could all about. Well, in a rough kind of form fashion, but our wider audience members, ones that don't necessarily, might be a first time listener. So let them know what makes you tick. Why are you here? What's going on?
Um, T-shirts make me tick,
Uh
and
huh.
so do really cool artistic type of stuff. Reading PDFs and translating words right now is kind of making me tick. So yeah, uh, galacticfire.com for all your T-shirt type needs.
You're
And
I'm
there's
just here. I'm
mhm.
just here
all
to
over.
watch Sonya.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I
Thanks,
want
Raj.
to look
It's
at
been a
Sonya
while.
and
It's been a while, baby.
look at her sexiness.
Oh,
Jeez.
jeez.
Just look at me, pretty girl.
How far
Okay.
was your road trip there, Sonia? Let's see. Illinois,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Arizona, Illinois. Is it worth it? Really? I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna be in Texas anyway, so it's not gonna be that far away.
Are you
So we'll see what
serious? How
happens.
far is
Yeah.
Illinois from Texas? How many states over?
Gosh.
There's only
Two?
one way to get here fast. She's delusional.
Oh
No, three states. Oh,
yeah.
You,
whatever, Raj.
like I know the secret passage to get into Illinois without having to worry about the long distance.
The
But
underground maglev
Hey,
train.
yeah,
my grandma's side is from Franklin or Frankfort or that Benton, that area.
It's
So
pronounced,
just
actually it's
saying.
pronounced the original pronunciation. It's
Frankfurt,
it's
Frankfurt. Yeah. So
Frankfurt. Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
And isn't this a dodgy character? All these dodgy people, hey, with these dodgy backgrounds, and a Jesuit on top of that, just like Fauci was. Looking at a picture in the slideshow here of Charlie Kirk's, grieving widow, and
Hmm.
she really put on a great show over his coffin. I noticed it kind of, and I'm saying that kind of facetiously because I mean I could be totally missing something here, but it seemed to me that there's just more than a whiff of insincerity, where she, I think, live streamed. These are the sort of things you remember that most people they want to keep private, and it's just when when's the last time you had something where you've got a grieving widow like live streaming her emotions, and which seem more feigned than real over her late husband's casket. It's bizarre. Anyways, in the spotlight this week, and it is maybe related on from a certain angle as far as the potential Israel tie in, who stood to benefit from Kirk's death, given the fact that he wasn't necessarily cooperating in the way, and in the way that, and to the extent that um, high-powered Zionist interests would have preferred. But yeah, this week it's the Middle East ceasefire, I guess, is what is essentially we're looking at, or what powers that be have. I don't even know what to make of the whole thing. Actually, it's a lot of great theater. I guess you could say, if you want to support, as I mean, 2 years. Yes, Netanyahu, he's had his time to achieve his genocidal goals, done a pretty, pretty reasonable job in that area, obviously, laying waste to the region and its people. But it's a complicated affair, obviously. But isn't it interesting? I don't know if anyone has any thoughts, any more sophisticated or deep or profound thoughts and insight regarding, Trump, for example. It's great. Like, who there's not too many people you're going to find who will oppose anyone's efforts to bring about, a more, like, a piece of some substance, obviously. But there's already, as was predicted, because Netanyahu's role in all of this, that if there's any end to the violence, or the bloodshed, the conflict, the war, as it is, that he's in big trouble. And this was the case right from the get-go, in the lead up to October 7th 2 years ago. And just one more reason why the optics, were not in his favor, frankly, regardless of how much the mainstream Mockingbird media are working to support him and his version of reality, the narrative that Israel was caught completely off guard. They had no idea. How could anyone possibly have known, that someone could have hijacked jetliners on September 11th and used them, commandeered them as weapons, flying them into the World Trade Centers. I guess they hadn't seen the lone gunman episode that had come out just a short time prior. So, just feigned ignorance and innocence. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't everyone agree? Oh, and we haven't got the Christian either, obviously. So I have a chance for him to introduce himself, and hopefully, Roger, maybe you've done. Would you care to do more on that front? But it's a complicated matter and affair. By the way, that's Angel Espino, the Jackal, in case anybody's wondering. One of the items that we were wanting to cover this week, he's not looking too well there, obviously. Not speaking of caskets, uh, he, as far as I know, he's still with us, but he's in pretty rough shape, struggling with serious thyroid issues, thyroid cancer, to be precise. So Robert Morningstar and myself, in our own small way, even I've known, yeah, as abrasive as Angel was known to have been at times, that I still considered him a friend and a colleague. And he did bring a lot to the table. He's very knowledgeable and intelligent. Welcome, welcome in many ways. But he did succeed in driving a wedge between more than one or two people as far as our relationships were concerned, and we no longer heard from them anymore because of the antics that he got up to. Unfortunately, just the mean spirited behavior on his part. So that was unfortunate, but we're still willing to do what we can to try to reach out to him in some way, and he has been doing the same via, maybe a few of you have seen his team's messages here. By the way, if my level seems a little low, let me know here. It seems to be registering not quite in the way that it maybe should be. Is my mic quality okay? It's all right? Or should we
Yeah, I think so.
the settings
Sound
are all
pretty
right?
good.
Okay. So
Mhm.
uh enough said, regarding Angel. We got some ideas in mind as far as medication and the Royal Rife technology too, which is something that Robert just told me about a week or so ago. Geez, man, do. Okay, we got to keep him entertained here. So if you guys hear this bell in the background, that's me with my overly hyperactive kitty who's demanding that he receives sufficient attention with his, as far as toys and play are concerned. You know how some cats are, right, Sonia? Look at this
Oh
little
yeah.
rascal. Oh, what a little bugger he is. So, uh, uh, Roger, enough as far as are you happy that people know enough about you? New listeners will, or maybe
I
need
mean,
more.
for me right now, I'm basically doing my own thing. Been doing a lot of research when it comes to well, I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with like politics or news or nothing, but like I've been doing a lot of research in the last year and a half on uh things that concern like um well, HARP and Operation Blue Beam and stuff like that. And then
Ha-
I've also been,
has nothing to do with politics.
well, no, not really.
It's like weather
Yeah, it does.
warfare.
Yeah, totally has something to
George,
do with
you know what I
It's
mean?
totally political. Yeah,
George
carbon
George
cult.
Soros
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all them.
yeah.
Well, when you talk to people who are more into politics, they want to talk about weather modification, and there's so much more involved in that than just weather modification.
What do you
Like
mean?
there's
Yeah,
that
with harp. Yeah,
How
harp
do you?
is just
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
just a
with
drop in the
with
bucket of what the harp was
yeah,
able to do.
yeah,
Well, the way they
like
frame it
neural.
too, the narrative, it's like, oh, man-made climate change. It's the carbon emissions. See, that's the way they frame it, and there were just with so many narratives, it's these
Mhm.
false, bloody narratives that the mainstream media pawns off on the public. They with the way that we're sold, or they try to sell and convince us. But it's good that people such as yourself and others here, Roger, see through the charade. Continue, please. Make sure you provide sufficient introduction, and then I guess Chris, the two Chris's. I don't think we heard enough from either of them yet, actually, as far as their personal information goes.
Well, do 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 good minds, or well, I mean, Chris do good on minds, and or you can just hashtag DOOBETTER. Do better. And that's how you can find me on Minds. And yeah. Don't really talk about the political sphere as far as like the current situation. I'm looking forward to the downfall and reconstruction, and just like building communities based on cooperation, love, peace, community, that kind of thing. And yeah,
Downfall and
building a better world.
reconstruction of what? Oh,
Yeah,
building back better.
exactly.
Well, so
But not
you're on board with
going with that slogan. No, come on now.
yeah, okay. All right. All right. So, yeah, and you've been pretty active on Minds for quite some time. You had your epic trip out there on the East Coast this past summer and made some
Yep,
waves,
yep.
positive.
Didn't fully make it, but I'm
Well, you
planning again. I'm
scouted.
stepping back and reevaluating.
That was your first time out there to really kind of assess the
Yeah,
terrain and
for sure.
territory, I guess. Nice. Good stuff. Uh, Christian Laterre. Bonjour, mon ami. Bienvenue.
Hey, how are you?
Comment ça va?
I'm Chris Laterreur, MK Ultra survivor from Montreal. Yeah, like one of the Montauk boys. I have a book out. Then yeah, I'll share the my website terroratmontauk.com. It's made by Sonia, so it's wonderful. So yeah, that's
Maybe
that's
Sonia. And good news, we're making some progress on the, slow but steady, and quality too, because we're having to, really the sound audio, the quality of the audio, like editing with, because there's a lot of clicks and weird small little glitches and audio interference that we need to clean up with the little program we have here. So we're gonna send you something. Like we've got, just the other day we finished ripping over 20 minutes basically, or another 20 minutes. It's close to a half hour of new material we've got to share with you. And we hope to maintain that momentum, because I know you're really pushing for as much as you can get uh out there as far as audiobook content by, it was November was what you said, is that right?
yeah, November 26th. Yeah.
Oh no! So we still gotta push it here so we can make that deadline. But you know what I was thinking, as far as the approach to that, have something on your homepage where you can offer like a sample, audiobook sample, of a few minutes, 10 minutes or what have you. Like just I would say, like, just go with the intro sample, and then have your table of contents there as far as what your PDF offers, right? Get that
Yeah.
in place, and then get your PayPal set up, and explain to people that purchase of any uh, of the audiobook itself. How much is it that goes toward the survivors?
There's $1 on each copy that goes towards survivors. So like, each book gonna give $1, so like that goes quick. Like
How are you going to do that though? Like, as far as who, like, you're going to choose, or just like nominally, like you'll select and sort of sponsor. You'll reach out to who exactly? Just people that are on your radar, I guess, that have been struggling and suffering.
yeah, like because there's a lot of people that are reaching out to me like often, saying thank you, like your book helped, and like like just like realizing stuff, and like yeah, and like there's a lot of people that will need help in the future. Like that's just starting, so
Hmm. Are you
yeah.
familiar with Jolie West from MK Ultra, the psychiatrist? You've heard the
Mm,
name Jolie West? People
I'm
can.
not sure.
What's his first name, Roger? Can you look him up? He's been implicated, so until he died. Like, he was working together on a pretty intimate basis, and capacity with the CIA, lying through his teeth, denying it till to his dying day. And then Tom O'Neill, investigative journalist Tom O'Neill, who wrote the book, I'm paraphrasing now, but Chaos, CIA, MK Ultra, and Manson, and the end of the '60s, basically, is the book that he came out with, and he managed to get a hold of after Jolie West died, or Jolly West, to kick the bucket, assisted suicide. It was like it was a cocktail apparently of exotic drugs that his son, so the story goes, helped cook up, and with him and his approval, of course, and just put him to sleep. But he was implicated in Ruby, like Jack Ruby, from the Kennedy assassination. Going When he left his prison cell, he's like, "Yeah, this man's completely crazy." But guess what? Jolie West was an expert in hypnosis, as was Manson. Interestingly, a lot of people don't know that. He routinely hypnotized his prison cellmates. Uh, but so yeah, basically, I mean, it doesn't look good, does it? He leaves Ruby's jail cell, and suddenly the guy's had a mental meltdown. And and then his involvement with Manson in San Francisco, the Haight-Ashbury, which is, they kept that out of the whole Manson trial, uh, back in '69, as if he hadn't even, not none of these people had even been there for the better part of a year, was what, or more, with Manson and his women. So, but really, to the point here, Christian, how it was that your memories were shut off. Like, there's a part, the deep recesses of our brain, our consciousness, if you will, and then of course this really, I was going to say, um, excess level of indulgence, well, more experimentation, excess indulgence with LSD, and I'm not sure if there are other hallucinogens or things, chemicals of the type that were involved, but it managed to get it manages to get to a part of us where we can. There's like a switch that flips, or how is it that they seem to turn off your memory of anything, your role in the program in its entirety, and then suddenly, I guess then you went to you attended hypnotherapy, and it all came out from that point on. Did you
Yeah,
feel the
like I
same?
was getting flashbacks of memories, like little bits, and like here and there, but like at some point I was getting a lot of them, and like nothing was fitting with like what they program me to remember, and like because like when they erase your memory, they put a frame of thought, okay, and you have to think inside of this. And as soon as you think outside, like you feel tired, like there's a few protection they install, and like it's all done under hypnose, and it's like hypnotic suggestions, hypnotic blockage, and like that frame of thought. And they program a little bit like what they want you to remember or not, and after like yeah, like you don't remember nothing that happened, like but yeah, at some point I was getting those flashbacks, and like it was so overwhelming and so like realistic, like because there's a difference between imagining stuff and like because uh, yeah, there's a print that's not the same. So you just like at some point I had to go and like investigate more. So like I went for regression hypnose, and like I got all those hypnotic blockage removed and like hypnotic suggestions removed. So yeah, that changed my life. Like I started like memories started flowing back and everything clear now. Like like so yeah, like that changed my life for sure. And that's the technique they use like most of the time.
Sacre bleu, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah.
See, like I'm actually that's right where I'm actually getting into my research at. There's a thing called subthreshold waveforms. And it's a oscillation that doesn't ever quite trigger like any action potential. Um, but it's a potential energy. And the thing of it is it's not yet a signal, but it shapes when and how, like real spikes will fire within the brain. And these are like silent ripples that influence like time, probability, and rhythm throughout your brain. Now, what they do is they form like hidden layers of experience below your awareness that govern what breaks through into perception, what you actually know. You know what I mean? So you've got this kind of research that's been taking place since well into well heck since Tesla with the ionosphere and what his theories were, and then that goes into HARP basically. So you're getting all this technology, and if you really want to find out more about that, check out the Schumann resonances. Now that right there will kind of wake you up to a lot of things that's going on inside of your brain and how it's related to the ionosphere and the earth. And they've been doing research on this stuff, and they found out that our consciousness is actually connected to both the earth and the ionosphere.
Big surprise, that one, huh?
Right.
Not.
And well, I mean, this all ties into Operation Bluebeam.
Well, okay, how so? And by the way, before we get into that, Sonia, who do you see out there? I mean, I just popped by briefly, and there was a number of people in the comment section. So, what do you see
Well,
exactly?
Zane is over on Facebook now, and then I have a friend, Jeff, who's listening. He's out of Phoenix as well, and I'm not sure who else we got going on anywhere. I haven't been over to D Live yet, so
Okay, it helps. Like if someone like you or well is over there holding down the fort, as it were, that people see that others are
it's Roger.
watching and tuned in.
Roger's
Obviously,
always holding down forts.
Mhm.
He's a fort holder.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
fort.
Not
Yeah.
fort.
It's not healthy to hold in if you
Yeah.
hold in your forts. It's became a little overly bloated. Have to see the doctor. Lead to
That's
all
what they
kinds of
say. That's
complications.
what they say.
So not broadcasting, live streaming on
Sorry.
Facebook. We are. We should be, but sound level seems to be a
Yeah.
little lower than average today. There we go. That's because that's what we're seeing here. I wonder what that is. I'll try to eat the mic a little more. Anyways, but yeah, you're right, Zane. Um, we're just what we're seeing here with the monitors. So we'll see if we can go in here and tweak that a little bit. All right, folks. Continue on then, please, if you would. Look. Why don't we do this? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring up. The talking points and just provide audience members with a rundown. Try not to get trying to get too hung up on any of this if we can manage, without too bogged down, basically. So, just to, revisitation and reminding people of who we had on this past Friday night. Saturday is 12 noon, of course, here in the Tokyo and Seoul time zones for our feature guest, Christian Rockefeller. He's a Kiwi out of New Zealand. He loves his bikes. He loves his freedom. And I don't think Jaffe knows how to really pull off the New Zealand accent. Sounds like it might be a little more Aussie than anything. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right. But he does have this great Discord group, which hopefully everyone will take the time to drop by and check out. Roger, I think you'll get a big kick out of it, along with any number of other folks out there. They've even got a handful of lawyers, he was saying, who, as far as the Admiralty, Naval Admiralty law and strawman fallacy and so forth is concerned,
I was listening to him. He's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows
That was
his
a
stuff.
good. That was a good interview. You
It
did.
was.
I mean, that was an excellent one. I was really impressed.
It was. Yeah, it came off really well. I was really happy to put, get that
Who
to do
who
it.
was that? I missed that. I like that kind of stuff.
Cliff Rockefeller. It's the latest that
Uh-huh.
we have there. We got it now. Facebook, they have this new policy where they delete live streams after about a month, and YouTube kind of sucks too because they dial us down, and they pull all kinds of dirty tricks, obviously, and they love to delete or censor and shadow ban. So
Oh yeah.
I screw them, I say, other than for maybe live streaming. But BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble is where we archive the shows, and check us out over on those three platforms. Easy enough to access. Of course, we live stream through Facebook, YouTube, D Live, and Telegram, I think, are the four that we work with here essentially. So, but yeah, Cliff Rockefeller definitely, and kind of there's a little bit in the way of spirituality and philosophical conversation.
Yeah, I'm checking it out. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And be sure, if you dig it, if you appreciate it, to help share the links, because it's just, if you could just post the links in a few places where you think others might appreciate and value. So Diane Keaton, well, not
Yeah.
my most favorite Hollywood actress. I love to say actress these days, especially where so many. I'm an actor. It's like what? So it's like, are you a waiter or a
Yeah.
waitress? And what do they
I've
call?
noticed that too.
Are you a steward? Is it, I guess, a steward? Oh, steward, not a stewardess. What do they call the male guys besides that help you out on airplanes?
I think it's a steward
Not just straight up gay.
or steward. I don't know. Whatever.
Pretty. It's a pretty faggy job.
Yeah, pretty much gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What is it with that job that draws in the gay fellas? I don't know, but it is what
Like
it is.
hairdressing,
It's
kind
kind of
of.
like hairdressing, yeah. So
There was a few straight guys though. I used to teach beauty school back in the day, and there was quite a few straight guys too as well.
it's a great way to meet women.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
true. They're just
hello.
artists. It's an artist, like an artistry kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be up for that if I had to, train in a field, do something all over again. My dad had a friend actually back in the day. They worked together as like blue collar jobs, like machinists. My dad was kind of like a hotshot machinist back in the like early 70s before he kind of shifting gears and taking on, pursuing denturism. My grandfather was a denturist. Dad was a denturist, and
It's an
just
art as well.
became a denturist. Yeah. So, but his friend was became a hairstylist and made a crap load of money. Had I think several shops here and there, and just out of Quesnel, BC, which is just south of Prince George. Naroki, if he was here, or Harpo, Yvonne Malenfant would know about that. Christian, you've heard of Prince George probably in Quesnel. Maybe you're not too far from there. So, but here's the deal. Check this out. The reason he took up that line of work, that profession, his brother had been having an affair and was caught in bed with this guy's wife uh, at one point in time, and the guy came in, I guess, with a shotgun and blew them both away.
Wow.
Well,
Imagine that.
instant karma.
Chris.
Well, instant.
Right.
That's you talk. That's some pretty instant
Problem
karma.
solved.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, yeah, instant karma. So who knows? I don't. He must have done jail time too. You think, but anyways. So his kind of fantasy, his way of getting even was to be cutting people's hair, and you know how it is, son. You're talking, and with tattooing, very similar.
It
Just
is.
relax and shooting the shit. Mob figures, people in organized crime, they do this all the time. Like where they're in a similar setting, whether it's tattoos
Yeah,
or
goes to the barber or
just
whatever.
relax and they're talking this and that. It's like, oh really? Oh, is that right? So but he was waiting for the day, the opportunity for that guy to walk in and starts like, wife was cheating on me back in the day, and I had to take care of business. Like, oh, is that right? And then I just reach down and cut his throat, you know. So let him bleed. Basically that's So, but the revenge, and I think after a time, just that it's he worked on, I guess, doing all he could to overcome things, as most of us do, because unless we find that it follows us and haunts us to our graves. So, okay, Diane Keaton, I was going to say, like, wow, big whoop did he do? But at the same time, I don't know. She was a woman who she lived a great life, a great life. Hell, I mean, almost to 80. I was not really a fan, although I was thinking about this, and I would rather watch her on screen anytime, just so long as I didn't have to see another Meryl Streep movie. I cannot stand Meryl Streep. She is it's too overdone, too it's annoying.
I agree.
It's like,
I agree.
stop casting Meryl
She's
Streep,
just-
please.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan, celebrity death. Da 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 da. If anyone has anything they care to share or comment on regarding that in just a moment or two. Royal Rife Machine.
There's
Everything-
another
I
death
mean,
too.
hang on
I
a
think
second.
the Hulk.
Hang on a
he's
second,
going
but
Hulk
just
Hogan.
wait till we get to the bottom, because we always screw up and get too bogged down.
Got
rather
all
than-
these dead people.
Yeah, we're kind of we're all well.
I think you're getting more and more people on the list these days.
Well, you can maybe come up with a few here in a second. Royal Rife Machine, $70, $80. It's vibrational frequency. Look it up, folks. Whether it was banned or prohibited. The Rockefeller criminal medical
What was that
syndicate.
called again?
Royal Rife. You can look it up if you want. RIFE. This is our value added content, folks. This is why listeners help us out with charity in such a really dedicated.
It's also
manner.
a Rife frequency machine.
That's what we're talking about here, bro.
Yeah.
So
hang on.
hang on.
Okay,
We got to finish. Get down. Just gonna talk, just hit on the points, and then I will put a sock in it, and you guys can have at it. Okay, we'll come back, circle back. You guys have at it. So the vaccine, the kill shots, should I say? CDC pulling back broad support and signing off on new policies. So can we talk about this now without getting kicked off of YouTube? The fact that we were right all along. Hello, YouTube. Are you listening? We were right all along, and you conspired. Were complicit in a lot of, well, I guess a lawyer could make a case in stating and making very clear was a unnecessary death of countless millions, unfortunately. So Trump stopping the Epstein files. 3-1, I think it's 3-1 Atlas. And it's interesting, 3-1. It's actually 3I. I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. So you got the 3, and then you have the I. And it could be the I that we have as creatures with visionary function or capacity. But that's something that, we better, I think, that's wait till Robert Morningstar gets here in the second half of the show, if in fact he does show up, because we talked about that this last night on his Morningstar report, the after show, and we had Michio Kaku. I don't think it was AI. I know AI is getting pretty good. It didn't seem like AI. It seemed like a pretty spot on breakdown and analysis. So it's heavy, man. It's heavy, really intriguing, very fascinating, and so you can expect around Halloween for this to be at its closest point to the Earth. And there's more details we can add, but we'll skip that over for now.
What's going to be close?
This giant comet. Look it up. 3I
Yeah.
Atlas. Okay. Well, we're
Okay.
just running
Gotcha.
around. Yeah. Digital ID, Hannibal Directive. Digital ID. I mean, they're just trying to. It's like hitting us from every side here, and it's like you don't have a choice. You want to vote. You want to shop. You want to do anything. You got to have this new digital ID, biometric, of course, just like they've been planning all along, tied into the social credit scores, and and you better eat that. You better eat the food that we allow you to have stocked up um, quickly, because you're not going to be able to. You got to shop for what little you can when we tell you, based on, among other things, once again, the social credit score. So Whitney Webb is someone who lays things out, quite really well on that front, among others, but a lot of people talking about it these days. And to think that October 7th was not an inside job, I mean, how stupid or complicit do you have to be? It really seems it's one or the other, isn't it? So come on, people, like, really. And that's the thing. Yeah, with the so-called Christian Zionists, it's kind of almost like Judeo-Christianity. These two terms we can maybe take to task a little just after we're done here, uh, or as far as the just useful idiots, basically, or the the Mockingbird, big corporate, big pharma media, Anderson Pooper, aka Vanderbilt, something like 2/3, 3/4 of his salary, as if he wasn't already wealthy enough, going directly to coming rather directly from Pfizer. Can you believe it? Our hour-long session already coming to an end. See, that's the one thing I like to do as far as format and approach here is get to these talking points right off the bat rather than saving it for later. So, what else are we looking at here as far as, Japan? There's a big political shakeup in Japan. This chick, Komito. Okay. Ta Takaichi. Takaichi. Heavy metal drummer and motorcycle uh rider. She's avid, crazy about her bike. So get maybe Japan itself should get ready for a wild ride. Ice doing and going great guns, working on deporting all the illegals that Biden allowed in, completely in accordance with their the Democrat script, obviously. And now it's Trump's Trump's turn to take on the role of the chief political actor. TikTok. TikTok sale 14 billion. I thought it was up to 24 billion, but anyways, and 20 will it affect how 20% of Americans get their news? Must be mostly the younger generation. I mean, how do you get your news? Newspapers, television, radio, internet. I don't know. Myself, it's mostly well YouTube, I suppose, and then various offshoot links leading hither and yon. So just follow the links, talking to friends, talking to others online, occasional forum or what have you, following various chat threads, so forth. PETA World, well, we can get into that a little more at some point if people are so inclined. It's a never-ending story, unfortunately, and the way it's they protect some while setting up underaged honey traps. Marks drawn in, completely compromised, and owned for life. It's been going on for a long, long time. I think there's some recent new phenomenon. Epstein only. Think again. Marineland whistleblower uncovers plot to euthanize beluga whales. Crazy, man. You bring these wild animals on board like pets, or it's almost like circus animals trained to do acrobatics or what have you, or just some eye candy for paying customers. People that are curious about aquatic life may want to see and interact with whales, and then you just dispose of them when they're no longer convenient. Is that how we treat? Is that how most people are expected? Like treat animal welfare and well-being, or for that matter, neglect. And I think clearly this falls more into the category of the latter. We have 3 cats here, and we're responsible for them till their dying day. So, as all pet owners are, really. So, nothing worse than animal neglect. John McAfee recently came up, saw his grieving widow on a high-profile podcast, and most everyone singing his praises. It just so happened to be that this is disgusting, folks. But allegedly, he also, so the story goes, and this is part of a documentary that was put together a number of years ago. I should have taken note of the title. They tried to track him down in Belize, I believe is where it was, and it turns out he was alleged to have been a huge fan of coprophilia, as is supposedly, who is it? I hope it's De Niro and not Al Pacino. But anyways, yeah. But McAfee, just so the story goes, utterly disgusting and nasty. Whereas this is all just hearsay, rumor. Why these stories are even floated, who knows? It could be political. So innocent for presumed innocence before guilt, unless you're living in a Napoleonic influenced country as far as its legal system is concerned, such as it would appear, South Korea, Japan, and others, where just being accused of the crime is enough to send you to jail, to have you locked up for who knows how long, depending on what it is that either rightly or wrongly you're said to be guilty of. You essentially have to prove your innocence rather than for the rather than the prosecution side of things, the burden being upon them to, beyond a shadow of doubt, establish our guilt. But anyways, there we go. That's just a few of the items, a few of the stories that we did manage to come across, kind of piqued our interest. You yourselves might be either you've heard about, or you might find equally appealing or intriguing, what have you. So, all right. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas. For any order of $25 or more, you will automatically receive a discount of 10%. All you simply have to do is let Ryan know one of two things, either Pirate Radio or Pirate Code. Pirate Radio or Pirate Code. That'll unlock that 10% discount. And, you can't go wrong something like that, can you? Meanwhile, over on the CannaSense Cannabis Collective front, 5813 is our referral link, which you've got to take note of and be sure to use with any order that you put through with CannaSense Cannabis Collective. We'll be back here in just a few brief moments. Do not touch that radio dial or computer mouse.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at CannaSense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's CannaSense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. CannaSense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CannaSense.com. CannaSense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herbs' mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free headache relief or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. We are back. At least I'm back so far. Try to reach out and reconnect with the rest of the crew here and see if they're up for doing what they can to further flesh out some of these talking points. So once again, a pretty busy news week, all things considered. Everyone presumably going to have their own unique opinion and take on things. We're also, as always, open to and really, really happy. How should we put this now? Stories that don't necessarily make the mainstream are equally as important as the ones that do. In fact, if not even more. So mostly because they're either underreported or just flat out ignored. All right. Well, we've got Robert Morningstar here with us, along with Roger. Welcome, Robert.
Hi. I'm sorry I can't stay. If I can come back later. I'm in the middle of a conference call with a friend in Montana.
Three Eye Atlas. When you can make it, just drop back in.
Yeah. When did you start this program?
Just now. We're gonna have about an hour to go.
So we have okay. I'll come in about half an hour.
Okay. Thanks. Sounds good. Yeah.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye. All right. Well, we got Roger here with us, so that's good. And we'll see if Roger, is your mic working? Sorry for that delay there.
It's working.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Okay. Let's get Christian back on board. Sonia. See if Mark is able to make it or not. No idea if that'll be the case. The regular crew of keeners here, typically. So, the way we just ran out of time. That's just an example with it's my fault really, for not getting to the talking points earlier. But now we can cover anything that was a part of what we ran down and covered, along with who is that bleeding in? Maybe Harpo there out of Yvonne out of Coquitlam.
At the gym.
Pardon me. Oh, you're at the gym. Okay. You can hang out if you want. There you go. You're muted, so you can text away. You can listen. Sure, you do whatever you like. It's great to have you. Even just by Yvonne listening.
Yeah, I'm going to the sauna. Maybe a little later.
You'll be here for an hour. This is the back end of the show. So, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing
a
too.
little later. Sorry.
All right. I'm good.
I was busy paying bills earlier. I couldn't eat.
Okay. Yeah. Enjoy your sauna. Yeah.
I will.
Okay. Peace out, man. So, okay. So we'll try one more time here. I don't know. Keep an eye on Christian, if you could there, Sonia. You're free to unmute yourself as well. So, don't be shy. Now,
Okay.
yeah, have at it. Was there anything that jumped out at you there as far as the talking points go?
Yeah. The Rife machine thing.
Mhm.
I'm sure. Well, actually surprised that you hadn't heard of that before. It's been around for a
I've
long
heard
time.
of it, but I'm not the expert. We just had Robert
Stuck out to
drop
me
by.
because of the inventor of the guy that came up with that whole thing. He was actually an inventor.
Did they put him
He
in jail?
no, he died before they could get him for fraud.
Are you serious? And
Yeah.
these Rockefeller bastards. They're just so predictable what they've done, how they've gone about hijacking society essentially and shaping it in the way that it's like the best of all possible worlds.
When you said Rife, that's when it stuck out to me. So I did a check, and that's who it is. He came out with a supposed cure for cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and he had like these super microscopes that could detect like really, really small oscillations and stuff like that, supposedly. And come to find out that he was just a absolute fraud, and medical professionals actually believed everything he said while it was going during that time period.
So you don't buy it, then, is what you're saying? You think he's a quack? He was a quack.
Well, I think everybody's a quack, to be serious. Like perception is what I'm been talking to you about. You know what I mean? It's all about perception, and people really don't have a clue what the hell they're seeing.
With respect to what exactly?
Everything. Like you see things completely different than what I do because
Right.
of pigments that are in your eyes, dude.
There's some overlap though too. Come on. There's overlap. Are you going to deny that? We have similar between men and women. Guys, Americans, Canadians, age groups, right? I mean, living here in Korea, I'm kind of.
So you're trying to tell me that there's like similarities between men and women?
That too. That's right. Yeah. Are you trying to tell me Carl Jung was wrong?
Well, Carl Jung was the craziest of all of them, dude.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Like you have to be crazy to freaking do the research he did, because like he went deep. Like he went real deep.
So okay.
Like about. Well, I told you about his vision just before World War I, didn't I?
It was pretty bloody, wasn't it? It's
Yeah.
horrific. He knew he could feel. He knew the war was coming.
Mm-hmm. That's when you told me about that's the first time you told me about your dreams and stuff, and what you've had is when I told you about his story. He was on a ship, I think it was, in his vision, and he saw blood on the sea. The sea was nothing but blood. I was like, wow, that's pretty gruesome.
It wasn't the Robin Hood that he was sailing up there on, was it?
I don't quite know. Well, I know the guy who started the frickin' Mormon church actually had that kind of a situation that happened to him too, because he ended up like barefoot in like ice and then in the snow walking barefooted, and he had visions of like death everywhere and blood. And, like this guy started the Mormon church.
Joseph Campbell.
Freemason,
just like the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, Charles Taze Russell. That's an interesting family surname. One of the, according to Fritz Springmeier, one of the 12 bloodlines of the Illuminati. Russell, kind of like the same Russell family, presumably, that helped to launch Skull and Bones out of Yale. Do you know the General? That's one of their little, like with free. It's said to be a kind of like crypto Freemasonry. It doesn't take so much of it. Doesn't require much imagination to really see that. But Yeah, because he was a opium, pretty high profile opium smuggler, right? But that's one of their if you approach someone with that question, I don't know what they're supposed to answer. Just yes. It's because it's like, do you know, like, Skull and Bones, like the insiders will ask you, do you know the general? So I don't know if it's a way for them to gain entry or who knows. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I do. He was a real asshole. What do you care?
There you go.
So, anyways, okay. Well, I'm not sure if have you got a message from any of now Robert's going to drop by in about half an hour. He said he's on a call, and Yvonne might do the same at some point. He's at the gym. So, what else are we looking at? Oh, Christian. Did he mention anything to you?
No, he usually only comes in for the first part anyway.
Okay. Well, we won't bother him anymore. It's just the three of us. We got a little three-way going here.
Yeah,
Sonia.
finally. Just us babies.
Roger, just keep your distance, Roger.
Do that. Gonna give each other a high five. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God. Okay.
No fighting.
Hey, listen. I want to. So
high fives, man. That's you know what
no,
the 19...
I do, but no fighting either. So I just wanted to kind of break that up a little bit.
So
yeah.
Before we get back more into
you just stay in the middle. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, it all depends on where you're standing or sitting.
Been waiting for some action. It's about time.
Free world travel, why not, is what Zane says here in the comments section. I'm not sure what he means by that exactly. Hopefully we've also managed to, based on check 112, based on what we're seeing here as far as the monitors go, yeah, we've slightly adjusted the gain and boosted the levels. Maybe we could even get away with doing that a little more. We don't want to be too, to drown people out too badly, though. So it's all about the middle way. But Sonia, you have now a couple things.
Yeah.
You're going to be hitting the road, and you really want, you really want to focus your energy on that over the next coming weeks. I guess I think sometime in November is what you're.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
We've pledged. I mean, I hate to say it for two reasons. One, because we don't have the money, and secondly, because the donations have been so pathetic this year, unfortunately, which I don't quite understand why there's more people who couldn't just pony up for, the odd virtual coffee, for or something along those lines for if you think about the hours of work that we do here and time, effort, energy that we dedicate. But so $50 in support of your cause, your travels, the gas or what have you, and the work that you've done. It's just gratuity. It's a small gratuity way of saying thank you. I wish we could. I wish it could be 500, honestly, but it's
that would be awesome. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm grateful anyway. It doesn't really matter, and it's not necessary.
We're running on fumes right now, though, as far as our PayPal credits are concerned, and what we've got there, unfortunately, just like I said, because of
I hear you.
lack of public. If we had $1 or a doubloon for every attaboy, that came our way, courtesy of the wider listening world, or for every, say, 10 people that dropped by and checked out our content, man, like we could happily retire, I'm sure, on a just a remote desert island, you never hear from us again. That's actually a better strategy. If you want us to get off the air, not if you want us to stick around, if you want us to disappear, you can buy us off. Sure, you can buy us
Oh
off.
my gosh.
To never hear from us again. If you just want to completely shut it down and shut up, then yeah, if the price is right, yeah, we can consider that. Yeah, I seriously would. That's right. Oh, I just realized it now. My God, that is funny too, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
So
hilarious.
we're gonna keep doing this until until we get somebody. Yeah, we get buys us off. We're gonna keep spewing these freedom fueled truth bombs.
I think he's drunk.
Drunk? I don't know. Drunk on what exactly? I'm not sure. But so, anyways, yeah.
Oh man.
Let's finish your details. Okay, regarding your trip. So you're also planning on potentially launching a podcast or live streaming show yourself. I've got actually. I'm not sure what you have in mind to this point. Any titles or what to name it, but I do, and I think this really works. You know how people talk about this and that. It's like this and that, here and there, this and that. In your case, it's tits and tats. Tits and tats. What do you think?
I like it.
I think
that's very catchy.
That
it's
is
very catchy.
Tits and tats.
I have tees and tats right now.
Hey, do your
Oh,
shows in a tube top.
All kidding aside, on the same wavelength. That's right. So what the hell else was I was thinking cosmic galactic tats.
I'm just gonna galactic fire probably.
No. I was as a show, but no. What did you say?
As a show, yeah.
What did you say again? Tease? Or you said what was your
tees and tats?
There you go.
I had to pick something.
But you got tarot.
It used to be TTT, tarot's tees and tats. So, but yeah, but now we're just doing the tees and tats, and that's only because I had to pick something to be the at part of my YouTube. So
you're a triple T threat.
Triple T, that's right. Actually, 4 if you think about it.
What the fourth one for Sandy?
The one that you brought up in the beginning.
Oh, tits.
Mm-hmm.
She likes her tits. She loves them.
Well,
so tits, tarot, tees, and tats. That actually, I like that. You can almost write a song or something like that.
Tats. Use the tats after the tits. Tits, tats, tarots, and
no, that tees that doesn't work right.
Tees and tarots, or
tarot. That's okay.
Tees.
That's good.
Tits and tats.
That's better.
That's a little
What is it called poetically? Like the literary rhyme, poetic rhyme. Is that what you call it? Like that. You gotta the right rhymes.
I have my son writing me a song on the guitar.
Younger, or I guess the younger one.
It's tees, tats, and terror, dude.
Well, that's when we have Chris come on.
Yeah.
We'll add a 5T to it.
When you have who on?
Christian.
Oh, okay.
Which literally means the terror.
That's right.
It's family name.
Okay.
Cray.
Excuse me.
He's from France.
Tough Mike.
Well, same thing, right?
No.
I don't even know. I haven't done any.
See, and let me also make that clear, since you're from Canada, Jeffy. When I pick on the French, I'm talking about French people from France, not French people from Canada, unless it's about horse meat.
Right. Look, or frog's legs. Can we please look, there's something really critical. You guys are really good at kind of, but that's fun. That's part of the reason why you're so endearing, I guess. It's kind of steering things a little bit into the off track and into the woods.
Endearing.
Yeah. But guests. Now that's what you've handed that back to me, which is fine. The work you did for us on our behalf in support of the network and wider cause. Hashtag good karma. Like you're one of the few people who actually stepped up to the plate and donated some of your time. Roger does a lot here too, obviously, by sacrificing all of the resources that he has to marshaling his resources to make the show a better live streaming success. I'm not sure. Do you help out with the post end of things as far as promoting what we archive at all? I know Vinny, actually, geez, I don't think we called him up, by God.
You know what would be really helpful, and I've been doing this with your videos when I was streaming, but like when people want to like restream for you, the best way to do that is go in and copy your description and put it on their videos too, because that also helps.
Mm-hmm.
It also helps with when it comes to the SEO. So when you're streaming and they're restreaming as well, that helps the views out on both channels.
Okay, well, we'll talk more about that
I
after.
just figured I wanted to point that out. That because you have listeners, and I know that some of them will restream you. So.
Well, like Mark has been doing, and you.
Yeah. That's what I try to do with it. You and him. Whenever I was doing, I took a break from all that because restreaming or streaming period is really getting on my nerves.
Yes, I don't.
Just Colin, you can try me.
I don't see how you did it.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good interview.
I'm gonna follow up on that.
Oh, Robert, yeah, you got you there. You're just with your friend there from, I guess, Montana, bleeding in a little bit. So, hey, this is great. Now, one of the reasons it's so great to have you here is not only so we can get the conversation back on track, but also 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas. And there was one other talking point, but why don't we have... I mean, this is critical. This is so to what's happening now. I don't think Roger has any idea, nor Sonia, nor who knows how many out there, members of our listening audience. So this is your chance to revisit what we, if you could break it down, Michio Kaku, what he laid out there for us last night. And I don't think that was AI either. I think that was a legit video. I reposted, I shared it on my Facebook timeline. I was so impressed and wow.
So do you think it was AI?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't, because
they used AI for the background and that kind of stuff, but it sounded like Michio Kushi. And the voice was synced up, but who cares now? They're using AI to do everything. It's kind of disturbing. Because I really don't believe anything I see at all on television anymore.
Right. But I think that was him actually, and it seemed to be a semi-legit channel, and we could cross-reference if we wanted. We have to do that, but it's up on my Facebook. I'm leaving it there until I'm convinced that it's something that's not what it appears to be. But
I'll
just
tell you this though, the information he gave is really straight, legitimate.
Right.
Cross-correlated from many other sources.
So let's hear it then, if you don't mind. This is critical. We're coming up to the end of October. It's going to be the closest, within our proximity to Earth. Is that right?
October 29th and 30th.
What are we looking at?
It's odd because it's going to be on the other side of the sun. It's not going to be on our side of the turn. Think of a circle as almost 180 degrees opposed from us. Its position is going to go around the bend behind the sun while we're on this side of the sun. It's not like being on the same side of the sun where we could watch it all the way as it was going around. But it's very peculiar.
Dark side of the sun, Robert. Dark side of the sun. How about that, eh?
Yeah, the dark side of the sun is very accurate. Well, anyway, the thing is really odd. Almost all asteroids and comets that we've found or viewed over the years, 20,000 to 30,000 miles an hour. And this one is doing 152,000 miles an hour, which is staggering. I'm getting something off my screen so I can turn on my camera. Just give me a moment here.
This is a third major anomaly to, like, how would you put it? It's a extragalactical
Intergalactic.
Well, yeah, it's come from another galaxy. This is the third one in recent years. Is that right?
Yeah. And so he says that this is beyond the laws of chance, that this could happen just by chance.
What is the description? Can you break down some of the the details, the finer points? There's certain things that are just inconsistent with what you would normally expect. That really have it so that it seems to indicate this is something unlike we've ever seen before.
Everything. Its behavior, the trajectory, the source, the physics. It accelerates a little bit and it turns a little bit. Very fine adjustments of trajectory that can't be assigned to gravitation. So the composition, it's leaking off, it's sloughing off nickel, about 5 milligrams of nickel per second, which is an odd measure, and I'm amazed that astrophysicists can measure that, but they say that it's sloughing off nickel. It's leaving off a nickel vapor with a tremendous amount of carbon dioxide.
As compared to iron, is that right?
And no iron, yeah. And nickel and iron are almost always bound together at the molecular level. It's an industrialized product. Nickel doesn't exist on Earth unless it's been processed, extracted from iron. And this is a gigantic wedge tube of nickel, basically with hollows inside. And there was a point where they said that something happened to it and there were 9 companions. This is a while back. They were taking photos of it before it got to Mars, and it had split up into a formation with a main body, but embedded in the coma, flying behind it or gliding in behind it were 9 other forms, other shapes.
Isn't it amazing that number 9 as well? Like when you look at, first it's the 3 and I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. And I think we both know, as do many of our listeners, that and even the use of the atlas naming, why, like there's so much that is with the occult type esoteric nature with things even as simple as, well, acronyms and so forth. These are, it's not just by happenstance. So, but 9. The 9. Well, I mean, I can think of a few things. Maybe Roger here too, but
I can think of a very cosmic thing.
Sure.
Which is this group of extraterrestrial intelligences that were contacted in the 1960s and 70s.
Right.
By a scientist named Dr. Andrija Puharich.
That's right.
And he and Uri Geller made contact with this group of aliens that contacted them telepathically, and they identified themselves as the 9.
Yeah.
So it's like this galactic council called the 9, and that's what I associate with the molting of 3I Atlas from one object into one major object with 9 companions.
Wow.
But Avi Loeb is very serious. Avi Loeb is very serious about it possibly being an alien intelligence probe. And Michio Kaku says, it's here to observe us. But it makes itself so obvious. It wants to attract attention to itself just to see what our reaction is, and also to let people know that we're being watched.
Two things. Yeah. Oh, as if it wasn't obvious enough already. Avi Loeb, and who is, I've heard the name. I can't quite place him. But, and then secondly, how big is this, with the companions? And then there's said to even be something even huger, more
gigantic
behind it. It's like, what?
100 billion tons, the mass of 100 billion tons.
How many miles across and length?
The size of Manhattan Island. 10 miles, at least.
But okay, here's the thing. In no way believed to be on a direct destruction course.
No, it's not going to hit anything.
But remember the Chinese, the context, that Chinese story that you shared with us a couple of weeks ago. What happened there? Ancient China. Well, from a couple hundred years ago, with all that material that came down, and there's what, 20,000, 50,000 Chinese people, several hundred years ago, killed by these rocks that were.
Oh yeah, 10,000 people killed by meteors. Meteor swarm. Rocks. They didn't call them meteors; they called them rocks. But yeah, that's strange.
No risk of something like that.
It's too far away, as I explained.
Okay.
The camera's not working, so I can't demonstrate it. But if you look at the logo that I have with that ring, right, we would be over there where the parrot is, and if my face were the sun, it's going to be on this lower outside ring, the lower right quarter.
Screen share is not working for you? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not just screen share, but my camera is not working right.
Okay.
So that's what. But anyway, if you look at the ring around my logo, where the parrot is, you might say we're on that ring over there. The center is the sun, and 3i Atlas is going to be on the diagonal opposite ring. So it's very far away. We're not going to be able to really see it even, maybe, I doubt it, but they said that even amateur astronomers with good telescopes are not going to be able to see it, because it's going to be too close to the sun.
Okay.
And then it's going to go around and come out in December, going back the other way, at which time it's going to fly by Venus. So this trajectory that is so precise that it gets to do a flyby of Mars, a distant flyby of Earth, goes around the sun and goes and also to visit Jupiter and Venus.
All these planets in our galaxy, basically, or many of them.
Our solar system.
What's the difference between a galaxy and a solar system?
A galaxy is
bigger, I guess.
It's billions of stars.
Oh yeah.
And it's just usually spiral, usually in a spiral.
Okay.
Pattern.
Okay. So
and the galaxies contain solar systems, but within the galaxies are also the constellations.
How many solar systems does our galaxy contain then? The galaxy is the Milky Way.
Oh, I think that there could be as many solar systems as there are stars.
It's crazy, isn't it? And most people.
Planetary formation is a natural process in star formation. As a star is ignited, it's just creating stuff. How it aggregates is particular to the gravitational field around that particular star.
People have been so hoodwinked. I don't understand what it is, other than what was it, Star Trek non-intervention principle or something that, although we've seen there's so many incidents of people, either they're crazy, they're lying, or they're telling the truth. But
Prime Directive on Star Trek.
Prime Directive, right? Yeah, just hands off and non-interference. But to think, we've got our little star here. It's at the sun, And there's so many other stars out there. You talk to most people, they don't even know what a star is. Apparently, it's
But you
another.
know what else interesting is they found that the majority of stars in the galaxy are binary stars.
There's suns too, right?
Yeah, well, of course there's
But
suns.
but most people don't even know that. I talk to so many people.
Right.
Do you ask them? Do you know what that is? It's a star. What? And then what's a star? It's like So I mean, just like me, like I'm getting my head wrapped around distinction between a galaxy and a
Yeah,
solar system. So galaxy is much larger, is what you're saying here, and our galaxy is the Milky Way, is what it's I guess we
right.
call it.
Yeah,
Right? So,
yeah. And
but
we're out on a limb, way out on one of the spiral arms. We're very far away
didn't know that.
from the center of the galaxy,
How about
which,
that?
which is
Wow.
which is a black hole that's creating the vortex. It's amazing. The black
What?
hole. Yeah, there's a black hole at the center of the Milky Way.
Oh my God. Also, it has been
You're gonna scare him. You're gonna scare Jeffy. Be careful, Robert.
Don't start talking black holes or what?
Black holes aren't scary.
But here's the thing, just in kind of support or in addition to what you're saying there, as far as black holes go, people, astrophysicists, I guess, of the caliber of Michio Kaku, have posited the hypothesis, the theory is that we actually live inside a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, okay, it is what it is, right? But
the theories I've read that made sense to me is that a black hole in space-time is drawing in all the matter. It's folding space, gobbling up every molecule. It's making stars spin around until they dissolve. It's like a big whirlpool. And years ago, I read a book called The Iron Sun by Adrian Berry. He was the astronomer royal of that time in the 1980s. And he started talking about Einstein-Rosen bridges. And the idea is that wherever there's a black hole, it's funneling in all of this matter. Some of the energy is getting away. X-rays get away. When everything goes into the big crunch, it squeezes everything, and nothing can accept X-rays. And so where these black holes are, there's an X-ray source that's coming out of space-time that's detected there. But the hypothesis is that it's squeezing all of that stuff down into this tube, and through an Einstein-Rosen bridge, it cuts through space-time interdimensionally and spills out somewhere else as a star. That the energy, that the sun may actually be connected to a black hole sometime, from which the sun is drawing energy, where the black hole is sucking in everything in its locus, its location, its area. It's squeezing it out right out of here. It's in space-time. It's great stuff. Wonderful concept.
It's kind of like like birth and death, really, and the way that could you not make a similar type analogy that the way that we arise from seemingly from out of nothing into seemingly something, although emptiness is form is emptiness, is what the Heart Sutra tells us. So take some time to think, reflect upon that, folks. And then we return upon the body, dropping the body. It's like, can't carry on. It's like time, the body's given up on you, and you got to, time for your liberation from out of this rusty cage.
Yeah, the cage is holding a plasma. We are a plasma. And when we dissolve the cage or just escape it, the plasma goes on, and the plasma becomes part and integral to the immaterial world, what you would call spirit world. It is the universal moment. Time does not exist. It's only a universal moment. All time exists simultaneously in that realm.
Right.
And you can pop out of it if you know how to navigate, you can pop out of that dimension into any space-time dimension that you target. That's what the transmorphic entities described in MJ12 seem to be able to do. They exist. They are pure mind energy. They exist in another dimension. They're curious about our dimension, our world. They can intrude. They can open a window and project pure mind energy into our realm and make pure mind energy assume any shape or form, whether it be animate or inanimate. And that's directly from an MJ12 briefing manual.
And we're curious.
So, what is space?
Well, and so much of what we have, it's like even in this material realm, so much of what we perceive as material actually is just that. It's emptiness. That's a emptiness. You call it space, emptiness. Well, it's just emptiness.
I think we're interwoven.
Exactly.
See, most people don't look at the mystical side of all this stuff too. Like, everybody takes the mystics and they think that it's just fairy tale and it's hogwash. And if you look into it, you'll see a lot of narratives that emerge.
Well, I agree with you. That's why I consider myself a metaphysician. My goal, I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm also a very material person. I'm a mystical person. I'm a reasonable person. So in my life, I wanted to create a bridge. I wanted to find the bridge between the physics and the metaphysics. And so also to do that, you have to create a language to express it, because it's beyond most people's comprehension, because those ideas have not germinated in their minds. The idea of being intermeshed with nothingness, everything comes out of nothing. This is ultimately what I realized. The universe came out of nothing. It was sucked into existence, this vacuum of sorts. And a new theory is that as time is evolving, as space-time is expanding, that it's not really being pushed by internal forces out there like an explosion, but rather that way something in the future is pulling us, drawing us that direction. And that's new physics.
Yeah, but see, this is the sort of thing that what you're hitting on here, even though I can't get my head entirely wrapped around it, though, at this particular moment in time, I was struck from out of the blue as a child. This only happened twice in my life that I can clearly recall, where how Socrates would sometimes, they'd laugh at him because he'd be standing frozen. Something similar to that. Oh, I was at the end of my driveway, 7 years old, north central British Columbia, and it just suddenly, so this is, I don't even think Star Wars had come out yet. Maybe Battlestar Galactica, but there's something that has dawned on me, like a bolt from out of the blue, where it was almost like these space travelers are interdimensionals. Like, we are them. Is it now returning to the past and that going to the future? But it is that all is one sort of concept, and they are us as we are they, basically, and it just is the best way I can put it at this point. So it seems like it was a lot clearer in my head, though, even as a 7-year-old, that I cannot simply manage to, as I said, get my.
Let me tell you something weird.
Yeah, always ready.
Weirder than that?
I'm always ready to get something weird.
You guys know what sensor arrays are, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, like now, physically on the human body, your sensor arrays are stuff like your skin. It's like touch, feel, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now they operate in gradients, and it's weak signals. and some of them can be ignored. And strong ones are usually reinforced. Okay, and they're kind of like whispers before a thought. Now every array has a threshold of perception, and it shifts and changes reality itself, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're detecting like faint correlations that most arrays suppress,
Mhm.
that's when you start becoming more aware of the reality around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
Run that
you
by.
got
Or no, no, I'm a little slow. All too often, just either distracted or just simply, thick in the head. One more time, just
okay.
revisit that and break it down one more time, if you would.
Every array has a threshold of perception. Okay.
Okay, I've heard this before. Yeah.
Okay. Now, shifting it changes reality itself. Okay.
Like Schrodinger's cat kind of deal.
Right.
Huh.
So when you detect faint correlations that most arrays, like your skin and everything, they suppress it. Believe it or not, they do. They suppress it.
Is that in a
Okay.
good way or bad way?
Well, your mind, there's some things that your mind isn't able to freaking handle. Okay.
What about the heart? Robert and I were just talking about the heart yesterday. This is powerful stuff. How does the heart figure into all this?
Well, on a subconscious level, your brain is structured to where you have the cerebellum, and then you have the mossy fibers, and then the climbing fibers. Now, the mossy fibers are the ones that create structure in your mind, and then the climbing fibers are the ones that fire repeatedly, and they're the ones that are like the spark. Okay.
Divine spark, as I was going to
Right.
throw out there earlier with Robert, and Wade brought up the
Right.
plasma, and the Stoics, the ancient Stoics talked about the divine spark, and some of the Christ consciousness or what have you. By the way, we've only got about 10, not even 15 minutes left here, and we've yet to sort of
Basically-
revisit the whole Middle East business. So let's wrap this up, and then we'll
basically
shift focus to Middle East.
these two things though create balance is what it is. Okay, so you can't have one without the other.
What create balance?
The mossy fibers and the climbing fibers, they create balance.
Okay, so this is all like neurological science.
Yeah. I
Right.
think that's great. That's great to hear and to talk about that, because that's the key. Getting control of your nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
not being. That's really the mastery of Tai Chi or yoga. Any really deep discipline is to turn your mind within and get actual physical conscious control of your nervous system, and then to redirect it, to evolve. What I've done, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 77 on Saturday, October 18th.
Chuka Hamida.
54 years of Tai Chi now. And what Tai Chi involves is penetrating your bone structure with your mind and feeling your life force and your consciousness being able to enter into your spinal column and to navigate through every vertebra, to be aware inside your vertebra. But not only that, we are inert. Our spines, we are inert matter. But through Qi and the infusion of Qi into the substructure of tissue, the consciousness enters. My mind travels through my bone structure. My mind travels in my spinal column, and I navigate every single vertebra, and I'm trying to open up every single space between my vertebra so that the plasma that I am can suffuse me and fill me up. It's kind of like a sponge. The way a sponge absorbs, it's to absorb Qi. And I was talking to Dr. Brandenburg regularly, and we agree that the life force is a plasma, and this is cohesive. So when the container drops away, the plasma coheres, but it is part of this greater ocean of plasma, which is divinity, Godhead, but it's allowed to remember that it has its individual identity as a cell in the plasma. And that's very deep. I would have to get into much more about navigating the afterlife before you die.
Well, that's why we encourage people with all the resources we have now. It's like a the way cheat. What do they call it with computer games? Cheat code, or bloody hell, we have so many resources. Cheat sheet. We have at our fingertips with NDE testimonies with people that have done that and then come back after flatlining for quite some time. Even with like toe tags on and spending being pulled out of the mortuary or the morgue. I think mortuary is something different. But look, we could go on with this, following this conversation, this trajectory for some time. It's great to see Robert and Roger connecting on this level, like you guys really talking the same language here. Although I do resonate, once again, like Tesla, vibration, frequency, and resonate with this whole business of vibration and raising the chi. And as we talked about yesterday, Robert, from the base up through, and I'm no expert at all, but I have a rough approximate understanding from the base to the crown, and then out to others after Tonglen, right? Taking in all the suffering from the Middle East and all the bloodshed and insanity and everything you can imagine, but then giving it back to the world as an offering after you've accepted it. As courageously, your Tarzan roar. Well, we have the lion's roar too, right? It's like a warrior kind of spirit. It's like, bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
They say it's weak though, right? Oh, this weak loving. Oh well, man. And so, anyways, Middle East guys and girls, we got less than 10 minutes. Like, Robert, anything? What most jumps out at you? What do you find most profound? There's already been, now Netanyahu has already apparently breached the terms of agreement, I guess, and he's not really making much effort, it seems, to.
Trump left, and 5 minutes later he was saying the war isn't over. And then the Palestinians are no better. The Hamas has been executing people who facilitated the peace deal.
Well, but hang on. Now we got to be careful. Was that the case, or what? Something I read on X was that those people, it was like brutal, disgusting. It's like it's pretty instant karma, and they've got those people pulling those triggers have got to suffer face their actions, face the consequences ultimately, this world and the next. But that these people were complicit in serving the Israeli interest during the 2 years. They were stealing food, is what they're alleging. Whether it's true or not, they were taking money, and they were making just things really difficult for people. They were not working in the best interests of the people of Gaza. So who knows what's the fog of war.
That's why I don't believe anything I
exactly.
It's like you can't. And with artificial intelligence concocting and listen, the family of Robin Williams complained because artificial intelligence has been used to reanimate Robin Williams as if he were alive, to talk to people and chat, and
it's annoying. It's annoying.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
Yeah. Well,
the abuse, the degradation of the image.
Somebody could do it with you or I or any of us here. If
they've done it with me, and I wasn't pleased.
Yeah.
I was on that program, the Norwegian TV cable cast, and they did a poster for the video, but they used artificial intelligence.
Oh, Augie did that, or?
Yeah, to facsimile my face. Well, there are plenty of pictures of me, and when I saw it, I really didn't like it because it was kind of cockeyed.
What if someone does a cartoon, for example? You know how the people do cartoons?
That's different.
That's okay.
Caricature.
Okay.
Caricature different.
All right. Yeah. Okay. We got a little more than, we got 7 minutes tops here. Sonia. Now, so you're out of the booking business for now, Sonia, because you got to shift your priorities. I fully understand that, and thank you so much for the months of your dedication, and
Sure,
it's
absolutely.
not like you don't like us anymore. It's like you've just
No,
got
of
to
course not.
take care of.
Just gotta take care of stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
and if I run across folks, I'm still gonna, hook them up or send them your way at least.
That'd be
Whatever you
cool.
want
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Maybe
Absolutely.
he'll come on as our new booker, perhaps.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I hate doing it myself. What are you talking about?
Well,
Freaking.
but this is not for you. It's for us. You see, we'll only reach
Well,
out to
I
people
know.
one time, and if they don't get back to us,
Well,
and
I'll tell you something. I did reach out to a woman on Instagram the last night actually, and I think Sonia might be interested in her too. She claims that she has been completely cured of a disease that she had. And she used freaking holistic means to do it.
okay, but now hold it.
Cool.
Okay, briefly, what is it? And then we got to talk Royal Rife and Angel, of course, and many others that potentially could be using this technology. Which is it legit or is it not? And because Robert and I we were conversing regarding this whole business of the Royal Rife technology. He's the
Hmm.
expert essentially in this area. You were calling the Mr. Rife out, though, were you not?
Yeah,
You were saying that he
yeah.
was a quack, he was a fraud, he's a charlatan. It
Well,
has.
he came out. He
The
came out.
Rockefellers called him out too, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of them did, but you can't really take what the
That's what
Rockefellers.
I'm saying. Yeah,
Now, Rural Rife, and
competition.
he was in the 1920s, and mainstream medical experts actually considered him legitimate because, like groups like the Cancer Research in UK, that they believed everything that he said
Was
while
it
he was
proving
alive.
effective or not?
Well, that's the whole thing. Now they're trying to say that like his microscopes were fraudulent and that all of his research was fraudulent and
Oh,
stuff like that. But
now
now
the
after the fact,
establishment.
after the
Okay.
fact,
But was it really? Maybe Robert knows a thing or two more about this. We got to suss things out. And I mean, if Robert stamp of approval, and if he's backing it, I'm listening for sure. So there's no doubt. Mr. Morningstar, it's a little under 5 minutes here. Royal Rife technology, could it prove to be a lifesaver for the
Yeah,
likes
well,
of
I
Angel
think
and
he was
others?
I think he was legit, and he was efficacious. He was in practice from the 20s through the late 30s, and he was believed, and people had his devices. And England recognizes a lot of, in those days, recognized a lot of therapeutic modalities that the American Medical Association fought against here. Another one is radionics. In England, even today, people practice radionics. A person in London that I know has this radionics machine, and she has a client in another part of England, and she has sessions, and she dials in different frequencies into her radionics machine that targets the person, and she's helped a lot of people.
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance. You don't have to be even in the same room. And it's legal in England. The English had a different attitude.
So is this similar to Reiki then, radionics? As far as like long distance healing,
Yeah, just healing and transmission, but using a device. I think we can do that using our minds and our
right.
hearts.
Well,
that's proven.
Well, yeah, the thought intention experiment, and thank you for bringing that up. That's why if we could focus in on Angel as much of a muckraker and sometimes stick in the mud that he was easily triggered too. I found time and again that he could dish it out, but he couldn't take it. And just boom, he's gone, disappeared. There he goes again. So, but look, I consider him a friend, and we're here to support him, man, and to do what we can to lift his spirits, and to focus in. The thyroid, I guess, is in the neck, area.
Yeah.
Is that right? And if we can, just a vibration attunement. It's too bad we don't have enough time here. Nori Love walked us through. I think you know Nori quite well, probably.
I've heard.
Oh, okay.
I know her.
Kind of
Yes.
colleague of Augie's, but she walked us through, and we did thought intention experiments too. In fact, and they both were successful. It was we actually one with her, one without her, and both proved to be effective. So, wow, Art really scared. It kind of freaked Art out when he was engaging in this, just because of the number of people that were of his listening audience, you know. So, but Florida, Angel, Thyroid Hospital, he's stop drinking, stop
Is he in
smoking.
the hospital? Is he in the hospital already?
Yeah, he's been back in the hospital. So take better care of your diet, Angel. Maybe we'll pick this up next week, I guess. And I don't know who we're having on as a feature guest this Friday. Maybe Robert here if he's available. Maybe just we have a whole list of others we could potentially reach out to. We'll just have to play it by ear. We'll be sure to add everyone's contact information via the archived end of things. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us here. Sophia, 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 Sonia Sophia Galactic. Good enough. Works for me.
Thank you.
Roger, Robert, and others
Right.
out there. Okay. All right. Tally ho. So there we go with this week's live streaming edition, show segment number 336, World Pirate Radio News. Thanks to Zane, Christian Laterre, let's not forget him. We had Yvonne Malenfant drop by as well too, tuning in via his gym location out of Coquitlam there. Typically the best, just more to listen than commentate with all the noise going on in the background. But as far as the lurkers go too, don't be shy, folks. There's always a handful of you that we see there, and encourage people to log in, have your voices heard, leave your comments, thoughts, questions, you name it. Check out the show description end of things. If you'd like to help us out and help others too, half of everything we do generate as far as donations go are redirected right back to the grassroots. Who does that sort of thing? Who else out across social media takes the time, makes the effort? It'd be great if if there were more, or if it was mandatory. You know, hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com, our email address. If you have PayPal donations you'd like to send our way, show suggestions, guest ideas, like to stay in the loop as far as email contact is concerned, do take note. So we have a merchandise through Galactic Fire and a couple of other outlets you can easily find down in the show note end of things. Always on the lookout for creative minds, people with technical production skills, marketing, sales, and the like. Anyone that's essentially able to bring something to the table, they can help make the network even more of a rip roaring success. So, yes, and right on, we have the top channel muted out there, so listeners were not able to hear that. But we got Danny coming in like clockwork via the background. He is a hungry little kitty. He knows it's time for lunch, and we better tend to his needs, or probably find ourselves in pretty big trouble. So, hope everyone once again managed to get something of some note and value out of the conversation this week. Lots of talking points, lots of news items and issues. Will there be a peace that will stick, that will stand, that will manage to maintain itself throughout the Middle East, Gaza, the West Bank in particular? Seems to be a lot in the way of the illegal Israeli settlements going up. People, indigenous people, the historic, the real Semites of the land. If you want to talk anti-Semitism, stop attacking Palestinians. You know, it really is. It does take a lot of chutzpah. There's no doubt for East European interlopers to, you know, to do as they've done and try and turn the tables as far as the branding is concerned. Seem to be pretty good at that. The swastika, Aryanism. Who was behind that? The usurpation of terms such as that, and then politicization used in support of the campaign to further promote either their interests or anything that these symbols and little catchphrases, they would want to have you believe actually entail. So, but yeah, you want to put an end to anti-Semitism, stop killing the indigenous people of Palestine, the people who have been there for a lot longer time than since just prior to 1947, 48. All right, folks, it's been a blast. Much appreciate your support. WPRPN.com is the website. Recently refurbished and given the once over by none other than Sonia Galactic herself. Hence the reason that we are, one of the reasons we're sending her that $50 pledge in support of her travels across the southwest part of the Americas. On behalf of Captain Long John, Sinclair, and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, I'm your host, as always, the show's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you that until we meet again, be these high, often all too intrepid, digital, and cat-infested seas, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally-ho.